Namaskaram. In our last class, we had studied about the financial crises that the world faced after the Second World War. And here, in this part of the lesson, we are going to study about two political phenomena, fascism and Nazism. Fascism and Nazism. That we are going to study here, and how this fascism and Nazism that led to a Second World War. In our last class, we had studied about the treaties that were signed with the defeated nations, and through that treaties, like Versailles Treaty, how the victorious nations treated the defeated nations. They had imposed the heavy compensation, war indemnity upon the defeated nations. Their colonies were captured by the victorious nations. Then all these created an enmity among the defeated nations towards victorious nations that caused for the emergence of fascism and Nazism. Fascism had originated in Italy and Nazism had originated in Germany. Here, the features of fascism that are given there in our textbook as a chart. You please see that chart. What were the major features of fascism? Antagonism to democracy, glorifying the nation, justifying war, defying the past, military dictatorship, opposition to socialism, adoring the purity of race, diffusion of aggressive nationalism, indoctrination of ideologies through arts, literature and education, destruction of political rivals. All these were the major characteristics of fascism. Mussolini was the leader of fascism in Italy. Some circumstances that helped him to arise in power in Italy. That circumstances also are given there in our textbook. You please see that. Italy got nothing, though she was with the victors in First World War. Post-war destruction of industries, unemployment, increase in tax, inflation, etc. kept people away from the government. Industrialists, in fear of Italy moving to socialism, were prompted to support fascism. These were the circumstances that helped Mussolini to rise in power, that helped the fascist party to come in power in Italy. We had studied that in the beginning of the First World War, Italy was with Germany. But at the course of war, Italy had withdrawn from German alliance and joined with the British alliance. That's why Italy was a victorious nation, a victor nation in the First World War. But after the war, when the profit of the war that were divided among the victors, Italy was neglected. Nothing were given to Italy. That's why there was a feeling among Italians that we got nothing. This was exploited. This feeling was exploited by Mussolini. By exploiting this nationalist feeling, he rose into power. The leaders of socialists, leaders of peasants and workers were considered as the enemies of the nation. He formed a military organization called Black Shirts. The aim of Mussolini was to restore the ancient Roman Empire. For that purpose, he used this army, black shirts, secret army. And he used this secret army to kill, to execute his enemies in politics. Mussolini adopted the aggressive foreign policy. He attacked Ethiopia and Albania and such nations. This aggressive foreign policy and fascist policy of Mussolini and Italy that caused for the outbreak of another war, Second World War. Just like fascism in Italy, in Germany, Nazism has arisen. Hitler was the leader of Nazism. Hitler, just like Mussolini, in Germany, Hitler was there. We had studied about a Versailles Treaty. The provisions of Versailles Treaty were insulting to Germans. Their wealth, their colonies, their mines, everything were captured by the victorious nations. Victors had shared the colonies of Germany among them. Germany was totally disarmed. All the wealth of Germany was captured by the victors. All these insults were in the mind of German people. This insult, this mind was exploited by the leader Hitler, and he rose into the power. There were some circumstances, just like Mussolini's, that had helped Mussolini in Italy. Here there were such circumstances in Germany too that are given there in our textbook. You please see that. The Treaty of Versailles imposed by victorious allies on Germany. Economic destruction and inflation. Failure of German government and the resultant political uncertainty. All these were the circumstances that helped Hitler to come into power. Just like Mussolini's black shirts, here Hitler formed another military group called brown shirts. In Italy it was black shirt, in Germany it was brown shirts. It was a military group. A secret police troop also was formed by Hitler. It was called as Gestapo. Gestapos were the secret police troop formed by Hitler. He announced the communists and the Jews as the enemies of nation. He used these Gestapos to arrest Jews and communists and to assault them. Hitler projected the purity of Aryan race of Germany. Aryan should rule the world. It was the ideology of Hitler. He adopted the aggressive foreign policy like Mussolini. He tried to attack his nearby countries. He used arts, literature, etc. for propagating his ideology. Radio, cinema, such medias were also used for propagating his Nazist ideology, fascist ideology. Hitler attacked Austria and Czechoslovakia. He joined with Mussolini's Italy and Japan. An alliance was formed between them. This alliance that caused for a world war. Against this alliance, against this fascist alliance of Italy, Germany and Japan. And another alliance was formed by Britain in the opposite side. This led to another world war that we will study in our next class. Now we are winding up. Namaskaram.